Oh, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're on time.
We are on time.
Thank you.
Quiet in there. Let me know when to let it go.
Do that, man.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Yeah.
Yo, what's good? What's good
Yeah.
to the Urban X listeners?
The Urban X Nation.
Urban X Nation.
That's what I like to say. Urban Xers.
Oh, I feel like we gotta get some cooler.
Urban Xers, Urban X Nation.
Yeah,
Let me work on it.
Yeah,
Let me work on it.
Yeah, need something cooler.
Listen, I scored with the Datsun. I scored with that.
Did you?
I did.
I don't know. I don't know if it's still.
Let us know what y'all hearing out there in the chat. We want to make sure we got this audio thing together.
Oh man, this is our last try.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we gonna.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
We gonna give it a shot, and then we just gonna let it go.
But I feel confident today. You know what I'm saying?
I'm feeling really confident that we can get this done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we worked out some more things. Right? Because I'm not very technical, but I was on YouTube trying to figure some things out, man, try to get this right. But truth be told, we love you guys.
Thank you for joining us for another week. This is show 26.
This is show 26. Okay.
Crazy, man.
Okay.
Crazy. Like we've been.
Should we bust champagne for that or no?
Nah.
50. That's a lot of shows. 50.
50. Yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
I say a milestone listening, like a listens thing. So
50 listens. I mean, 50 shows is like a milestone.
that is a lot. That is a milestone, but like we're at like 13,000 listens, like for the audio.
Okay, for the audio.
Purely audio, yeah.
Okay.
So I was saying like maybe like 20,000 listens.
Okay.
Because you don't know what show that'll get to. So
Oh, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Sounds good.
okay.
Sounds good. You know, I'm just always trying to get a bottle of champagne going somewhere.
Okay.
For some reason, you know. I don't want to just be on the show drunk. They be like, yo, stop feeding your pops that shit, son.
Yeah, because there's a couple shows that you need to put it down.
Yeah, but that's why I don't do it all the time.
You were wildin'.
When you see the red cup, this is water. You know, when I got the brown juice, I'm letting you know I got the brown juice. You heard?
So what's up? How was your week?
Week was amazing. My nephew, want to shout him out. My nephew DeAndre just had open heart surgery.
Yeah.
He's recovering. He made it through. We want to clap that up. That's where I've been focusing on my energy this week.
Yeah.
Because, the first week is always tough. You want to, get them through. And it was something from a kid that they told him eventually, and then it was time. So, and what it does, it just makes you appreciate the real small things in life. You know what I'm saying? You worrying about, getting the bag and living my best life. And sometimes living your best life is just being healthy.
And living.
And living. Shit, can't live your best life without living.
Facts.
So, and he was a little nervous, but he was a trooper. He's a champ. This was a terrible kid growing up, man.
I remember.
I mean, in kindergarten, they was like, get him out of here. Don't even wait for his diploma. Just send him.
I remember.
He was, man, I used to have to go to his classes and sit in class with him and then do the spooky thing, like look in the glass, and then he look again, I'm gone. He don't know if uncle's there or not. And then, you know how you write somebody off? You go, this kid is not going to make it. He had a transformation where he just turned out to be an amazing young man. He's into music, no criminal records. He ain't, smoked out, none of that. He just, I think it was just a kid thing, and he shook it off. And now he has the $1 million smile going, and he's into music. Reminded me when I was, 18 and 19 and 20. Your Uncle Wayne, I'm trying to, get into this. And that's the motorcycles going by. And my dog will bark in a minute because he looking at me like I was supposed to do something.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you supposed to take me out or something. So, shout out to DeAndre, who's recovering, but he's doing well. And, so want to show him some love. You know what I mean?
Oh, shout out to Christopher Ingram.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Appreciate the love. How was your birthday?
Oh, my birthday was smooth, man.
It was yours.
Yeah, my birthday was smooth. It feels weird actually being 25. Like,
why?
I don't know. It just feels like, damn.
Maybe you overthought it. It's a milestone.
No. I felt like I underestimated it. Because usually every birthday you feel like, yeah, how do you feel?
Right.
25, I was like, wow, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, I couldn't explain it.
So what did you do?
Went bowling.
Went bowling.
Yeah, it was cool. Shout out to Clinton's girlfriend Lisa. She killed everybody.
Oh, in bowling.
Yeah, it was weird, like, cause her first couple bowls were trash, right? So I'm just like, all right,
Yeah, and then she got in the groove.
Then she just started throwing the heat, and we all looking at each other like,
sometimes you get it.
But
I still want to know how to make the ball curve. I don't. They say act like you drinking a beer. You bowling, you're supposed to do all that shit. I can't. I just throw the damn ball down there, and whatever happens.
Yeah, I used to play Wii bowling. That was nice.
Wii bowling. Yeah,
not real bowling though.
That was crazy. That Wii bowling was
Wii
crazy.
bowling was crazy. Yeah. Not real bowling though.
Yep.
So it was cool. I got a lot of gifts. I can't. People looked out this year.
25.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I got a lot of gifts, so I felt great. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa, okay. I made out like a bandit, but
Well, let me hold a little something. I'm playing. Shit. And it's funny because on my birthday, I was getting all of these $50 bills, because I turned 50. Mm-hmm. And wifey was hating. She was like, it's got to be a card in there for me. I'm like, motherfucker, it ain't your birthday. Like, she just was hating. I just was 50 after 50 after 50. I'm like, damn. So don't hate. Yeah. Shit, you'll be 50 soon or one day. She's on her way to Jamaica.
Oh no, she's not taking you.
No, it's with the girls.
Oh no.
What a nice girl like you doing all alone? Well, I just had to come down to Jamaica and work things up. Tell me what room he in. Woman like you should be loved constantly. He's back in New York. Is that right? Come on back over to my room. We talk it over. All we gonna do is talk.
Yeah.
My dumb ass, you should go to Jamaica more often. You know how that go. So anyway, the ladies will be having their time. And I'm an equal opportunity guy. So y'all go out because I'm, gonna circle something.
Yeah.
On the calendar at a later date.
As you should.
Yeah. I have no problems there. She in here working out. Crunches and shit. I'm like, look at this shit here.
Yeah.
Right? If you ain't going nowhere, so what? Now she going somewhere. She play the Rocky music.
You was really trying to work out for a week?
Nah, she been going at it for a couple of weeks and shit. She
was...
Shit, you know.
She was,
but I get it. You want to go to the beach
Yeah.
and look good. My wife looks amazing anyway, but just some tweaks and turns. It's all good. So let's get down to the show.
Let's get to it, B.
And see what's popping.
Shout out to everybody in the chat already.
Somebody said she's spending those 50s.
Hell yeah, she's spending them 50s, and I ain't get them shits. Hell yeah.
So tomorrow is the 21st. The Carter 5 drops. Lil Wayne.
The Carter 5 drops.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling good about it. First of all, I heard him on the Swiss Beats joint.
Pistol by my side.
Pistol by my side.
Yeah.
I thought Lil Wayne blacked on that a little bit. And it wasn't like an old flow.
Yeah.
His flow was kind of up to date.
That's what I'm worried about.
No, he's not going to release the Carter 5 from 8 years ago.
I know that.
I don't think so.
I know that from 4 years ago.
Or 4 years ago. Whenever it was
supposed to drop in 2014. But I felt like even though whatever new music he was making, I just thought he lost it because it was just tracks I heard him on.
Yeah,
he couldn't get into the pocket. What are you talking about?
I think psychologically he was going through a dark period.
Okay.
And I think now that he owns Cash Money, because he does own it.
He owns Young Money, not Cash Money.
Is that a new subsidiary of?
That's been a subsidiary.
Oh, Young Money, right?
Yeah,
Young. Let's clap that. Yeah. Ownership.
Yeah.
Black man.
Which was like 8 years too late, because when Drake, Nicki, Tiger, when they were all,
yeah, Baby screwed that up. Baby screwed.
Man.
I have to blame it on Baby. You got to go to the top.
He'll be worth. Oh man,
they'd be worth so much more because they had the team for the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, The Rock had their moments. You know what I'm saying? Bad Boy had their time, and the West Coast, they had that new generation in pocket. But sometimes this fame and this fortune, you know, you get beside yourself. Yeah. And I think that's what happened to them. I think he went through a dark period with drugs a little bit as well. But I'm hoping now that he has freed himself, he owns Young Money. Wayne had to give him how much money? 50 million or 25?
Oh, Baby had to. I don't think Baby paid him. I think Universal paid him.
Paid him
50,
what?
Like 50 million.
Okay,
like
so now you sitting on some chips. Your future look good. I think now he just wants to put out some great music. I think everybody in the industry gonna rally behind him. Yeah. And I'm hoping for a great project.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard, I was like, when I first heard he was putting out an album, like putting out the Carter 5, I was like, keep it. But his Carters, like the Carter series, have all been solid. Mm-hmm. All of them. I think.
Shout out to Hakeem Green, who told him to name his album The Carter in the first place.
Really?
From Channel Live. Yeah, they had a conversation. He said, you should name your album The Carter. And it became a series. So shout out to Hakeem Green from Channel Live for playing his role in history. You know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Somebody give you some dope ideas.
Yeah, I think, so my personal opinion, I think The Carter 2 was his best one.
Which one is Lollipop? Like
that was
Lollipop.
on the Carter 3.
Okay, that to me was the one that had all of
that one. But see, that one
that had we all that shit. Yeah.
See, that one had like the most hype around it because it was between the Carter 2 and the Carter 3. He was blacking on everything, on every feature.
Right.
And they kept saying, "Yo, the Carter 3 is about to drop." So that was the one. That was the one. I think the Carter 4 is really slept on.
The Carter 4 is the one where I really started paying attention. I'm gonna tell you why, because as a hip hop educator, it's my duty to be in tune with young people. And I notice when you go in on young people's heroes or who they look up to, they shut you down. So, you know, talking to you and Eli, and I was like, this Lil Wayne nigga's trash. And you said, you know, Dad, you give him a listen. So I was cleaning the house and I put in the Carter 4, and he earned my respect as a lyricist on the Carter 4. I will say that.
Slept on, that's a slept on
project.
project.
It's a very slept on project. Tech 9 was on that project. It just was a really well put together project. And that's where, so I'm talking for those out there who educate young people, you have to find a different approach. You can't just sit there and tell them that they ain't shit and they fucked up hip hop, because then they'll turn their back on you and they won't listen. I noticed when I just paid attention to the music that they listen to, now we can have an even exchange about what hip hop is.
I don't think like older hip hop heads, I don't think they realize that a lot of the pushback they get from the younger artists is only because y'all don't respect what we doing, so I'm not going to respect you. I have
Absolutely.
That's literally the only reason.
It's an exchange. It's like disrespecting an OG on the street, or he disrespecting you and you knock him out.
Yeah.
Like, yo, dude, you going to respect me.
Right.
So it's the same concept. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I don't have to like everything. Just like the people before us who didn't understand hip-hop. What the fuck y'all doing with them 2 turntables? And why are you scratching these records? They had no idea or concept of what we were doing. Now, some magical things came out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm never one to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So you know me, I'm always looking for that underlining, you know what I'm saying, aspect that says, I still see God. I still see creators. No, I don't like all the scissor and all this other stuff, but I still see God within them. And Lil Wayne, I have to thank him for that, because he's the one who said, Doc, come off your high pedestal about what Rakim and the golden era was, and just get into what we're doing, because it's still a continuous process. And for those who say, well, we at a devolving state, guess what happens after we devolve? We evolve. So that's just the cycle. So out of this era will come your J. Cole's and your Kendrick Lamar's.
I don't even think we're at a devolving state, because like if you only choose to look at one little pocket of hip hop, you can say that,
right.
But if you look at other rappers, Drake, Cole, like
it's still moving forward.
It's still moving forward. And then I always say this when we talk about nostalgia. When you look back to early 2000s, right? A lot of that music wasn't good either.
Well, it's kind of, you had to live it. Like, for instance, you were born in 93. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 93. So when Reasonable Doubt dropped in 96, you couldn't possibly feel what Reasonable Doubt was for us, or Ready to Die. Right. And then if you go back and listen, your musical palette has changed. So for you, it may just sound like music, because you said that before, and I had to process that in my head movies. What the fuck you were saying? But it's the same thing for me in this era, because I'm not fully indulged in it.
Right.
So some of these great projects come out to y'all, and I go, and I have to apologize to J. Cole.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because I went in on his album 2 months ago.
Shout out to Josh, because that's Josh's favorite artist.
Shout out to Josh.
He felt the way. He wanted to come see you.
No, Josh.
To come see you.
Old school now. But what happened was, I liked J. Cole. I always thought he was amazing. I just thought that project was overhyped. But in retrospect, when you see these artists who are dying from drugs and how important drugs are at this present moment, J. Cole was a prophet in understanding, because he's indulged in it. He's behind the scenes. I'm no longer a behind the scenes person. You know what I mean? So when I listen to his project again, I get it. So I'm shouting out J. Cole, my bad. Oops. It is what it is. Yeah. So I'm hoping this Carter 5 is something amazing.
I hope it's not 19 tracks. I hope
12 tracks.
I need 12 to 15
That's
the
it.
most.
And 12,
15 the most.
12 will do it, and then he can release at a later date the original
what
Carter
was supposed
5.
to be on that,
right? As nostalgic, and this is just the lost tracks.
Yeah,
and that would be dope.
Okay,
that would definitely be dope. You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Oh, so for our Patreons, that could be you. That could be your voice.
Right, that could be your voice. This is so-and-so from Chicago.
Right.
You are tuned in to Urban X. Absolutely.
That could be you.
That can be you.
Oh, so
the price is right.
Recently, Floyd Mayweather said he was going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao again.
Really?
Yeah. And
really?
when I say this, people really say like I'm bugging out, I'm a hater, I'm
He's
a
broke.
I say I think he's broke. I don't think broke. My type of broke and his type of broke is completely different.
Two different brokes.
Completely different things.
The lifestyle that he lives. Of
right.
course.
Two different things. But I don't think he has as much money as he promotes, as he will want us to think.
All right. You fake it till you make it.
Because he's promoted this all the time. Like, I've made over $800 in my career.
800 million.
800 million in my career.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be taking this fight again.
Absolutely. You 50-0.
You went out at the top.
There is nothing greater. Nobody ever went out Rocky Marciano.
Right.
You beat all of that. It is primal energy. It can never be touched. It's so pristine, the energy behind it. And now you taking a fight against Manny Pacquiao.
Who you beat already?
You already beat him?
Y'all are both out of your prime.
Yeah, something ain't
So
right.
if it's a money grab, then people say, "Oh, why not make more money?" I get that, but at the same time, is why?
But why not make more money managing other fighters now? Why not create, the money team?
And then remember, he had tax problems before.
Absolutely.
I think the Manny Pacquiao fight.
Before the Manny or one of them big fights.
One of those big fights, or the McGregor fight.
And
it was the
McGregor fight,
Yep.
and he needed to sew that up. Listen, if they can get Kevin Garnett for $77 million,
Yeah.
he was right out of high school.
Yeah.
This nigga probably didn't even go to high school. No disrespect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why 50 was like, this nigga can't even. So who's handling his money? Right? And this happens often in sports. These guys come right out of high school or from the hood, and they get these bookies and these accountants. And Master P said you need an accountant to watch the accountant, and then you need an accountant to watch that accountant. Clap that shit up. Yeah. Right? That's like in New Jack City.
Yeah.
Everybody was butt-ass naked, cooking up the shit, right? Was no bullshit. Everybody butt-ass naked here. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody walking out with no bottles. Yeah. So that's what that boils down to. And then you have to have all of them audited quarterly or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? To just check up on your brag. You know what I mean? They wouldn't beat my wife for nothing. My wife check her money all the time. She'd just be like, okay, the money is gone. I'm like, nigga, the money was there 20 minutes ago. So you ain't beating my wife for nothing. And he should have the same mentality. Yeah. 77 million, now 7.7 million out of 250 million.
15-year career.
15-year career. Hey, that's charge that to the game. 77 million, that means you were in the dark completely about your finances.
You had other people signing your checks, things like that.
When you want to know about the unknown, we study the known. Yeah. So Mayweather's made $800 million. And he has a 4th grade education.
And he never talks about his actual net worth. He said, I've made over that much money.
Right. Tyson thought he had all that money because Don King kept buying him new cars and shit, and he ain't had no money. You see what I'm saying? So we understand that this is something that takes place, you know what I'm saying, in this field. So he might need money. Yeah. He might need money. And as a result of that, you know what I mean?
See, I have a fear that he's going to go broke by trying to impress people that don't care. I don't care.
I really don't care.
The average person online doesn't care. So you're floating for no reason. You're floating for no reason.
And see, the same way you obtain is the same way you maintain. I've always preached that. So if I come through your block and I shoot your block up and take your block by force, I have to shoot the block up all the time to keep the block. So if you are flaunting that you're all of this, you have set a standard that you no longer want to double down on. So you have to, and the stakes get higher. You know what I'm saying? Now they after your soul. But you want to maintain that level of shit. So this is how they get a lot of those artists. They come in blazing, and then they got the 50-room mansions and all that. And they want to keep that, but now them records ain't hot no more. You ain't hot on the streets no more. So now you have to do other things to maintain that. So he's Floyd Money Mayweather, and in reality, he may not have it like that, but he's trying to keep up that illusion when in reality, he should get into management, put a team around you of people you trust. See, that goes back to LeBron James. That's why I respect LeBron. He didn't just scoop his boys up and say, you gonna be this. They went to school. They became certified in how to make sure nothing leaves our camp and everybody eats. That's how you win. Yeah. And if you don't have that, because he has beef with his pops, and then his uncle's training him, then his pops is training him, it's hard for you to move into the next level of management where you can make money off all of these fighters. You should never fight again. Just my humble opinion. But I'll take a fight. I mean, if he wants to, I'll take a fight.
That wouldn't last long at all.
It won't have to last long. As soon as I sign my name on the, I get how many? 5 million. As soon as I sign my name on the list, I'm a bob and weave and take a dive. That is it. But
You
he
are
ain't nothing
tuned
but
into the sounds of Urban X.
Mayweather ain't nothing but that tall. I think I could push him around.
Alright, yeah, okay.
What, he's like 146 pounds?
Okay, he'll piece you up.
Son, I ain't never let no little niggas beat me ever. I will grab that little nigga. Oh, you can't choke in boxing. I grab that little nigga and if you.
He won't even let you get that close.
Man, listen, please. No, he do have that invisible style shit.
Yeah.
That invisible shit is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You be seeing that nigga's turning to Flat Stanley on you. You don't even know who Flat Stanley is. Didn't you read that? Flat Stanley was a required reading book. If you over 40, you read Flat Stanley. He fell down the thing and stuff, and he was flat, and all the kids would tease him. No. Okay, no Flat Stanley.
You just said over 40. Like, I'm not over
40.
40.
Just saying. I thought maybe they still had y'all under the same indoctrination. Okay. What do we have?
Oh, so hip hop beef.
Hip hop. This is white beef.
Hip hop, yeah. This is
uncooked beef.
Unseasoned.
White people don't. Yeah, unseasoned.
Unseasoned.
Uncooked, raw.
Yeah, it's still bleeding. Like
It's still bleeding. You still see the blood in this one. This ain't even cooked. Okay, so what's going on with this two?
Eminem and MGK. I think we've spoken about this too.
Yeah, we spoke last week, but I think we didn't hear M's response.
So Eminem, he said something about Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly responded with Rap Devil, which I thought was kind of hard.
Yeah, that was kind of hard. Yeah.
And then like a week later, we listened to this together. Eminem released Kill Shot. Mm-hmm. What did you think? First listen.
First listen, I thought it was whack. That was just not whack. It had some lines in it, but I was expecting because see, this is how I see it.
Okay.
If I'm Eminem, this is cannon fodder. This nigga is a layup. I'm shooting shots at other niggas, not him. I'm putting some shit on him so bad so that Joe Buttons, I was calling him Joe Buttons, and Eli was like, there's no S.
Yeah, I didn't want to correct you on the show. I was just like let me go.
Okay, Joe Button and other people.
Yeah.
I'm shooting shots at them just using this wigger.
Okay.
Wigger. I'm just using this wigger as cannon fodder. But he struggled with. He had struggled a little bit. I'm saying you struggling with MGK or MG. Yeah, you gonna have a problem with Jay Electronica or Joe Button.
I didn't think it was whack. I think he lost though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I expected more.
Everybody did, but then this is again too. Why did we expect more?
Hype and nostalgia.
Yeah, hype and nostalgia. People keep saying, and it's this whole thing like, yo, Emma's he ends careers. Whose career has he ended? A rapper, formidable, has he ended?
No, those are great questions. And for all you M fans out there, I'm not hating, but I wrote the original article saying he couldn't rap. You know what I mean? But I went to a metaphysical place with it, but it still applies because again, he hasn't ended anybody of notable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all are thinking of B-Rabbit from 8 Mile. But he's never done that
right in real life.
In real life, he takes credit for because he had a verse at Ja Rule that was hard, but it was already over.
It was over already. 50 had already bodied Ja Rule. And side note, Ja Rule's catalog is crazy. When you revisit, they was playing. I said, God damn, I forgot he made all these hits.
Yeah.
So we got caught into that. Don't get me wrong. 50 put that work in, but we kind of. To me, that was the beginning of social media trying to, like, you could shift and it was off and on. Like, normally, people go, nah, I still rock with it. It was like, yo, we are not. If I catch you playing any Ja Rule music, you out of here. It became 50 was the first one to really throw the dirt on somebody. Like, because even Jay-Z and Nas beef was, Titanic.
Yeah.
But it was still like, okay, well, I'm still going to listen to Jay. Yeah. I'm still gonna listen to Nas. Like we just totally stopped listening. We didn't listen to Ashanti. We ain't listen to none of that shit. Cadillac Black. Yeah. They all went down. You know what I mean? So, is that Cadillac Black? Is that with his team or was that 50's team? Cadillac Black.
The dude that stabbed 50.
Yeah, that's
Black.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy because this Eminem thing, is more of just a distraction, you know, in the long run of things. Now, Jay Electronica has jumped into the beef.
So, cause Eminem said something like
that Diddy line.
The Diddy line. He set up Tupac and
that Diddy line was hard.
It was though. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a hard ass line.
I was like, ooh.
But I heard Diddy's about to.
Diddy say he gonna handle that.
Diddy said he gonna handle that. Now, when Diddy said he gonna handle that, people die. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? So, but that's an Interscope beef because Diddy's down with Interscope.
Okay.
And then somebody else brought up a good point on YouTube that said all the people that M is after right now are Diddy's people. Charlamagne the God is on revolt.
Ooh.
Joe Budden on revolt now. And MJ, this guy, that's 50's artist.
I mean, Diddy's artist.
Yeah, Diddy's artist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's Diddy's artist.
Oh.
So this is a revolt thing. So this could get deep. This could get deep because Eminem is Eminem. He is, you know, the great white hope, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He sits, and then he has Dre and 50, and 50 been going at Diddy for a minute.
Yeah.
So this could be one of those get your popcorn moments.
I didn't even think about it like that. Wow.
Yeah. Somebody brought that to my attention. I'm not going to take credit for it. I didn't really. I said, oh, shit, that's deep. And it's really a mess because it's just black people in the grand scheme of things with a lot of money with nothing to do.
They white, though, so.
Not them.
It's easy.
I'm
It's
talking-
better to watch.
Oh, no.
I feel less guilty.
Dude, unseasoned beef with blood coming out of it is disgusting, but you can't turn away.
Yeah, it's just...
Can't turn away from that shit, just like a car crash.
So I want to know, what are your top 5 diss records of all time? Your personal top 5.
All right. In no particular order.
In no particular order.
Kumo D versus Busy B.
Is that a song?
No, that's not a song. That's you mean like a diss record?
Diss record, yes.
I just showed my age.
Yeah,
that
like
was 1981.
It wasn't even making records. Like
I'm not even sure you was in my nutsack in 81. Like, cause don't my sperm renew itself? Like you wasn't even. You was out here in the. You might have been in. Shit, I don't know.
I was
where
in the
you was
astro
at.
realm.
You was in the astro
You know
realm.
what I'm
So,
saying?
okay, so diss records. Okay, Nas and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Gotta put that out there.
So Take Over Ether.
Take Over Ether.
Okay.
NWA and No Vaseline.
NWA never responded to No Vaseline, so we just put No Vaseline in there.
Okay, No Vaseline.
Okay.
No Vaseline, right? Diss records. KRS One, MC Shan, The Bridge Is Over.
Okay.
Gotta throw that shit in there.
Okay.
He ripped Queens a new asshole with that. Throw my exes up. And then let's see. That's 4. I know so much that I know so less. Let's get one more diss record. One of them recent ones.
Back to back?
Back to back. There you go. There you go. That back to back shit
Crazy.
might have been the best diss record of all time. Because it's the only one you could be in the club partying to. Old women get, that back to back. Oh shit.
Okay.
That shit became like a club banger. Everybody else record was more like you listening, that was dope, you know what I mean? That back to back shit, football teams was playing that shit in practice and shit back to back. That shit became a monumental hit. So yeah, those would probably be my 5. What about you?
So in no particular order. Dollars and Cents by DJ Quick.
Who did he diss?
He was dissing MC8.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to throw one more in there.
Okay.
Tim Dog, fuck Compton.
Of course.
Clap that up.
Of course.
Yeah. We toured the world on that ass. We was all over the world on some fuck Compton shit. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad we never ran into them niggas. Because them niggas was thick. And see, here's the thing when the people don't know. See, when we were doing local shows, we was 30, 40, 50 deep. We'd have cars. You know what I'm saying? Right. Driving places. When we got international, that shit cost money. It'd be me, Tim, and the DJ. Maybe one other person. And had we ran into them West Coast niggas, I'm about peace. I'd have been, But Fuck Compton, #1 hit on Billboard with no radio play.
Oh, wow.
See, a lot of people don't realize that. He started the East Coast, West Coast war. Snoop responded to him. Dre responded to him.
Oh, he did? Oh, that's right. That's right. On Dre Day.
Yeah, they responded. And so that's my honorable mention in there. So throw Tim Dog in there.
Okay, so Dollars and Cents.
Dollars and Cents.
DJ Quick. Ether. Nas.
Ether. Yes.
Back to Back. Drake.
Back to back.
Real Compton CDGs by Eazy-E. That's a favorite of mine.
What? Real what? Who? How?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Real Compton CDGs.
Who was he dissing?
Dre and Snoop.
Oh, Dre Day is my payday. Is that what the one?
Yeah.
This was real awkward for me growing up because I spent years touring the world dissing Eazy-E.
Yeah.
And then when he got into hip hop, his #1 dude was Eazy-E. It was really really weird. You know what I mean? But yeah.
What else? So that's Takeover.
Yeah.
Takeover rounded
That's
out.
a dope 5.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention would be "Kicking the Door" by Biggie.
But that was a down low.
But he was dissing like 10 people.
He did. He dissed a lot of people, but he didn't directly say.
Okay, that's why it's an honorable mention.
Yeah. That you rain on the top was short like leprechauns.
Yeah.
That's a cross so-called Willie dogs and rapadons.
And then he was dissing. So Premier produced that, and he was dissing one of Premier's artists
While he was
that was hard.
that was hard body. That was hard body.
Come on.
I'm surprised you run with them. I think they got coming them because they nothing but dicks.
He said he looked like
Yeah. And I don't think nobody wanted it with Big. I think Big could have really ended your career.
And you know what's crazy? He did a song with Busta, and he kind of went at Tupac like directly. Like he said something like skinny. He said skinny tattoos and bandana. Like he said something directly, but like nobody talks about that.
Got you.
And people, I don't really, Hit 'Em Up was dope, but he didn't really. I don't know. I didn't.
No, Hit 'Em Up was another dope musical record because he jacked his beat. But he didn't put no mad bars in there. He just said, "I fucked your wife,"
which is like.
And back then that was hard.
Yeah.
Like nigga, I just fucked your wife.
It's like whoa. All
It's
right.
just like whoa. He bodied.
He started off the track like that.
He started off the track like that. So that would have probably been in one of my honorable mentions for different reasons. See, Tupac wasn't that lyrical dude.
Yeah.
And Biggie would have just really bodied him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nas said that was the only dude he was ever scared of. That they could have got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Short. Your rain on the top was short like leprechauns. As a cross so-called Willie Slug. He was talking about Nas. So, some dope stuff.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So on Friday, I got attacked online. Right.
On Friday, you were attacked. You were cyberbullied.
I was cyberbullied online.
Are you okay?
Hey, I'm good now.
Okay.
I recovered.
All right.
No, because what happened was on Twitter there was a video. Deray Magazine, this guy right here, he was releasing his book called "The Other Side of Freedom," and he was at a book signing event in Ferguson, Missouri. I don't know if it was actually in Ferguson, but I knew
it was close by.
It was close by, and some Ferguson activists came in and kind of shut everything down.
They wilded out on him.
Yeah.
They wilded on him.
Right.
And he might have had that coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the thing about Deray, right? We know Deray as the Ferguson guy because he was out there, he got arrested and things like that, but he's been riding that energy
all the way through. Yeah, that's clout chasing now.
Yeah.
That's the true definition of clout chasing.
Right.
If you was out there for no other reason than to help the people, then that really ends that story. Everything you do afterward is the byproduct of.
And then here's the thing too, because he is out there, right, for a lot of different reasons. But the fact that he throws on his blue vest everywhere he goes tells me he's only doing that so he can be recognized as the Ferguson guy.
Absolutely.
So I wrote an article back in March
on urbanx.nyc.
On urbanx.nyc. Go check it out. And back in March, right? Because whatever the Oscars was, I think it was in March. Because he wore a tuxedo, black tuxedo, and wore that blue vest over the tuxedo.
Oh,
right? So then that, obviously, I'm just like, okay, so is it activism or is it branding, personal branding?
Absolutely.
Right? So I put that up on Twitter, like in the comment section of the video, and this one girl, she tweeted that why should him trying to brand himself diminish everything that he's done in his activism? So if she read the article, I've never said it didn't.
Right.
I actually acknowledge the work that he's done on the ground. He's been arrested. I don't know. Some of those pictures look kind of staged, but whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of them were. Even Dr. King in the back in the days was, some of that stuff was staged.
Right. So, but my whole thing is the people within the Ferguson community have spoken out against him. A lot of people.
Absolutely. Because they live there and they know who was actually on the ground on a day. That's like Al Sharpton showing up.
Right.
For photo ops at your event and then taking off, and now you associating.
Exactly, you associate Al Sharpton with that event that had nothing real.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people within Ferguson who are on the ground who do not see Deray Mackison the way the rest of the world sees him.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So, and I even made a comment that, that the dude who was recording the video better chill before he ends up shot in a car, in a burning car. Because we're gonna go down a little list real quick.
Okay.
So this guy Edward Crawford, he was 27. He was a big Ferguson.
I think I remember him.
He was a big Ferguson activist. He was the one in the picture where he was throwing the tear gas back at the police.
Right.
So he was found dead. He was shot in the head inside of a car. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who else? This kid right here, DeAndre Joshua. He was found burnt alive inside of his car.
In his car? Okay. So we see a trend here.
Darren Seals.
I remember him.
He was found, this is 2 years after DeAndre Johnson. He was found shot to death in the side of a burning car. Mm-hmm. There's a trend here. And he actually put hands on Deray. He actually smacked him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Another one, Vincent Casella. He was listening to music in his car. Somebody shot him in his car. Mm-hmm. Antonio Jones.
Ooh.
He was found in a burning truck in Ferguson. Donnell Roberts. I can keep going. It was a few more. So
this is obviously the police.
This is
all right. This has got to be the police, and they cleaning all that shit up. That's a very racist place,
dude.
Very racist place. You know what I mean? So he needs to be careful, and you know what I mean? Because you're capitalizing off the energy of real people, real ancestral blood now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you're branding yourself. But it's something you said about branding and activism, and we talked about this when I said you better be corked up. We just spoke about this. Not that I am promoting that, but that's just the way it seems to be going now, because Kaepernick got shirts out now, and it's a branding thing along with your activism, which kills your activism. And to me, you know what I mean? I'm an old school kind of guy, but this may be the way activism is done in the future. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm was so adamant on handling his business a specific way that's all I really know.
And it wasn't even like me saying that because you're an activist, you have to be broke. I'm not saying that at all.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
But I'm saying you're capitalizing off of a situation that's still traumatic to the people in that community.
Absolutely.
And you're not from that community. And not even that he's not from that community. He's not really doing anything for that community. That's what the people are saying.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that's what the people are saying.
I gotta listen to what the people are saying. You're showing up, you're flying back into that city because you got a book out, and now you talking like, because it was rough out here, and you ain't even from there.
And then my thing is, right, so this is, I don't have a problem with the blue vest specifically, but why wear it everywhere? You know what I'm saying?
And to me, that blue vest should be in a frame somewhere.
Because you know how this is how the rest of the people are associating the blue vest with him. Because I even wrote this in the article. Because the last Planet of the Apes movie, they were showing an ape
and he had the blue vest on.
Everybody immediately said they're talking about Deray,
Absolutely.
And then the directors of the movie go, "Whoa." If you watch the original Planet of the Apes movie, they all had blue vest on. This is an homage to that.
Absolutely. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes. But just the way we thought about it.
That's the way we thought about it. Same thing happened to me. I was like, oh, that's racist. Whoa.
Right, absolutely. Because our attention span is very short.
Yep.
And our memory is very short. Yep. So we just have to be careful in how we go about doing these things. Because to me, that vest represents something that's frozen in time. Now, the movement continues. And if you're really doing the work, you wouldn't need a vest. People would recognize you every single day because you've been here putting in the work, and you won't have to wear the vest to remind people this is who I am. And this. That's like Jesse Jackson taking Dr. King's blood and smearing it on the shirt shit
and wearing it,
doing interviews for 2 days. King told me to take over the movement and shit. Messy Jesse. Messy. All right, so so that's how that goes.
But all them names not crazy,
dude. That was crazy. That's crazy, and I'm surprised that hasn't received more notoriety. Like that ain't even humanly possible. I can't even say, well, that's an anomaly.
And you getting shot in your car and they setting the car on fire.
Yeah, that's a signature move.
Come on,
and they just kind of swept that shit up under the rug. What'd you say, Queen?
It's like a serial killer.
That's like some serial killer shit. Absolutely.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Urban Excellence Third Week.
Urban Excellence, my favorite part of the show. The Urban Excellence, where we give away 1 million. No.
Wish.
Not yet. Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. Right?
So, this week's Urban Excellence story goes to one of my great friends.
Okay.
Tia. Shout out to you, Tia. I know you're listening.
All right, Tia.
Tia Monet. She is the founder of a group called Millennial Mothers.
Millennial Mothers. Tell me all about
Mothers, like
mothers.
Mothers, like colloquially, like how.
Oh, I like that. Mothers. Yeah.
Millennial Mothers. So it's a group because she had her daughter, and she had her daughter early. I think 6 weeks early, something like that.
Okay.
And she was talking about through her pregnancy process and things like that, she couldn't find anybody, people to who had her experiences and things like that, right? So she started a blog to document her pregnancy experiences and things like that. So this group was for millennial age mothers to have some kind of common ground so they can share each other's experience, to give advice and things like that. Because she said she felt like older mothers would bully younger mothers, like you know what I'm saying? They didn't know what they were talking about and things like that. So she has a big group on Facebook. They have events and things like that. They're steadily growing every day. So on Saturday, October 13th, they're having it's called Swap Till You Drop. It's a swap meet. This is like a swap meet session, right?
Okay.
So she said it's an event for mothers made by mothers.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Nice.
So Swap Till You Drop is an event for moms to repurpose all the items that your little one doesn't fit or isn't interested anymore.
And you can
give it to other
mothers.
Other mothers.
Let's clap that up.
You know what I'm saying?
Sharing.
And the difference here is, as a parent, you get to go home with something that's new for you.
Right.
Even though it's not new for somebody else. It's new for you.
Absolutely.
So, this event is free.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just come with something with a few lightly used pieces of clothing, toys, and things like that.
Stuff that somebody else could. And it's funny because my wife said that she was going to write a book about that. Very similar, because there were certain things that the older mothers didn't tell the younger mothers. And the younger mothers had to experience this on their own. And she's like, no, it needs to be a handheld manual so you can understand what you're going to go through, how you're going to feel mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually. So to see her start this group so that the mothers can connect with the mothers and, do something really, really positive, I think is great, because it's just about information and letting these young mothers know that you're not alone.
Right.
There's a group out here now who's experienced what you're about to go through, can tell you how to deal with this. And the more you are prepared for stuff like this, and, I can only speak from the outside looking in, then I feel the more equipped you are to transition, because there's a period where women they go through it after the baby, the postpartum, because you've just released, life onto this planet, and it's a process. So I want to clap that up again. So from the fathers to the mothers, You know, we want to big y'all up.
So you can, if anybody wants to donate any items or any money, you can contact Tia at millennialmothers@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description below after we wrap the show. And you can also DM her on Instagram at Millennial Mothers. So and you met the baby.
Oh, that was my baby. Yeah. She's a firecracker.
Yeah. She actually took her first steps the other day. I'll show you the video.
Oh, she did, because remember she kept falling when she was here.
She actually took her first steps the other day. So
all right, I'm proud of her.
Yeah, and it's also dope because she was a preemie just like Eli.
And her mom's is amazing.
Yeah.
Her mom's is amazing. Yes, absolutely. And she was a preemie like Eli.
She was a preemie like Eli. So her and Eli have that connection going on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it was dope. So shout out to Tia.
Shout out to Tia.
all the mothers out there.
Yes. We appreciate you all. Absolutely.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
What else we got?
Oh, so this happened last week. We forgot to talk about this. 7 NYPD officers were arrested in connection with running a prostitution ring out of Brooklyn and Queens.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a 3-year investigation.
3 years they've been watching.
3 years they've been watching.
Oh, they're going down.
Yeah, an anonymous call was called into internal affairs. And then afterwards, they said like over hours of wiretaps.
Yeah.
You know, actually following them around, things like that.
I'm not surprised.
Gambling ring and
I'm not
prostitution
surprised.
ring.
I'm not surprised. These officers don't make a lot of money to begin with, and when they see young people or they see opportunity, it's very. See, you know, America wants us to look at officers as nobility. We don't, because we know better.
Yeah.
You just as human as we are, and when opportunity presents itself for you to do something, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was not surprised there was a patrol officer who was a serial killer recently in Texas.
Whoa.
He killed 4 women or 3 female prostitutes and 1 male prostitute. That just happened this week. You know what I'm saying? And one of the women got away. That's the only reason they caught him. You know what I mean? So, goddamn, now the patrol people are killing people. So,
so the prostitution ring in New York, it was out of Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island, and it was masterminded by a retired vice detective, Ludwig Paz. I don't know how to say. He was a 20-year veteran. Him and his wife
was teamed up, masterminded that.
3 of the defendants were a sergeant, 2 were detectives, and 2 were police officers assigned to like desk duty.
But you gotta understand, because they move around like they run the city anyway. Whether they're retired police officers, a lot of them traffic drugs because they know all they gotta do is flash their badge, and only when internal affairs gets involved, it becomes a situation that now you're under investigation. Other than that, they move about like they run this piece. Yeah. So, what better people to use than the police?
Dude,
and that goes way back to the mob. The mob had everybody in pocket. From the president on down. Everybody was in pocket with the mob. So that's why the mob never really worried about much. And the mob was in on JFK's. The CIA was in on it. The FBI, they all collaborated together. Like, this nigga right here has to go.
That is insane.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So because he's fucking up the money, he's doing this, he's switching up. So, that's the way that works. Okay. You know what I mean?
So yeah, we were supposed to talk about that last week. I forgot what happened. But yeah, that's ill, man. Like, who polices the police?
Nobody.
We spoke about this when we were talking about the Bohemian John thing. Like,
yeah, what's the update on that? Any updates?
They still haven't checked the cop's apartment, but they checked his apartment.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So they checked his place.
Yeah, and then you know what's crazy? So the president of the NRA, or the spokeswoman of the NRA, said if he was a legal gun owner, that wouldn't have happened. But somebody then tweeted like, so you just advocated for shooting the cop.
Absolutely. So it's a very sticky. Yeah. And they had 5 search warrants for her house.
Oh.
They took the front door. They took some other stuff, but they didn't search her place. They said she moved out before they had an opportunity to do so. She also cleaned her Facebook page, but some tweets showed up And she had, I forget, some very, she said the NFL has a cancer now called Colin Kaepernick. Or, as to make a reference to colon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has a cancer in its colon. Or she's made some racial, statements. The police commissioner said who's black, said she cannot fire her due to some other logistics or something. So I don't know what's going on in Dallas where you are the police chief and your hands are tied. So what's going on with this? And don't try to paint my man out to be somebody he's not. I've lived in an apartment building my whole life. I've never walked into the wrong apartment.
Yeah.
I used to smoke dust and never walked into the wrong goddamn apartment. You understand what I'm saying? I did acid and never walked into so I don't understand. He got a red carpet, Let me tell you what I think happened.
Go ahead.
He's a very religious guy. He lives directly over her, right? Mm-hmm. She probably worked a 15-hour shift and she does not want to hear this shit today.
Okay.
And he's over her head probably playing gospel music and, the Lord and this and that. And she said, you know what? I'm fucking tired of this shit. And went up there. And it may have escalated into some shit, and she shot him, and now she's trying to backtrack out of it. I didn't know where I was. I didn't look down at the red carpet. I had bags in my hand.
I don't even think she came up with that. I think one of the other.
Somebody
I think
else,
they say, "Listen, this is what you're gonna say."
Yeah, this is what you gotta say. And I said she's gonna walk.
I think she's gonna walk too.
And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
that's all I want to say. But because, and I say all of that to say. There's nothing for me to as a foundation for me to say she's not gonna walk.
Yeah.
Everything points to. I just got finished watching the whole Zimmerman shit. We got to talk about that shit. This motherfucker crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And I just don't. They're gonna paint this guy out to be the victim, and it's gonna be bad. I don't have a reference case to say, there's any justice for us, and you want to know why we don't fuck with the police. You know what I mean? This is crazy. This is really crazy.
Right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Now, this came across my timeline, I think, yesterday.
What is this? I have no idea.
So this is Maroon 5.
Oh, Maroon 5.
So so it was just announced that Maroon 5 will be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year in Atlanta, or next for the 2019.
I think that's great.
Show in Atlanta.
Yeah.
People have been having a problem. Oh, this is why the NFL is trash. When I think of Atlanta, Maroon 5 is not who I think of. They should have got one of the Atlanta acts.
Listen.
Go ahead.
I don't want you niggas fucking up the money. So, no, we're going to have something very safe. Maroon 5 is safe.
First of all, Maroon 5 is lit. I like Maroon 5.
Maroon 5 is good. But I do understand what the people are saying.
Listen. Go ahead.
But let's be real about this.
That's what I'm saying.
The NFL is a business and it is a corporation that services who? White people. Niggas don't go to the stadiums to buy tickets in Atlanta. Maybe they do. You know what I mean?
Okay, but so somebody made this point that white people are like the largest consumer of hip hop music, right? Mm-hmm. But this is again when two things can be true
at the same time. Absolutely.
So white people buy hip hop music, but not those white people that watch those football games.
Two different audiences.
Two different bases.
Two different bases.
And then let's keep it 100, right? Can you see the Migos performing at halftime at a Super Bowl, headlining a Super Bowl halftime show?
No. I'm just gonna be honest.
Just be real.
And yeah. That shit is played. It's not up to date. Now, if it was in New York, could I see Jay-Z doing it? Absolutely.
But here's the thing: the Super Bowl, that was Super Bowl 48. That Super Bowl, it was in New York City. They had Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Nobody from New York performed. So what's this thing?
This is the home of hip hop,
right? So what's this thing about? Because we're in that city, that we need those city acts. That never happens.
No, and you associating that with the Colin Kaepernick shit. There's really no association. So let's not associate that and put it all, because then if you do that, you're taking the coward route out. You just bunching everything.
We reaching.
And I'm one who Malcolm always says, Dad, you gonna pull your shoulder out, nigga. You reaching. But not even I would reach and say that. The NFL is a $15 billion industry. The NBA is only $5 billion. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was doing the math and saying, goddamn, it's 82 NBA games. This is how big the NFL is.
Wow.
So when you start talking about consumers, white America, who they use these events to come, and these are family events that they come to, and they may not necessarily want to see that. So when you look at the dollars, now granted, 85% of the players are black, but they're getting paid to perform, just like Jay-Z, when he do a concert, is getting paid to perform, and there's a whole bunch of white people and Beyonce in the audience. You're getting paid to perform. But that has nothing to do with who our consumer base is. Would it have been nice? It still might be one or two acts that come out.
I heard
Cardi B, I heard.
Yeah, I heard that it was another name. It was Cardi B and somebody else.
You know what I mean?
But that was them throwing us a bone, like, hey.
Yeah, throw you a little bone here and there. And then they're trying to clean up this halftime act based on some things that happened in the past, even though that was a long time ago. And we know that was a ritual with Justin Bieber, Timberlake.
But remember what they had Beyonce and she did the acts for the
Beyonce.
So it's not like
killed that.
Exactly. So it's not like
she killed it in Oakland. She killed it with the afros, the in formation. She got off.
Right. So it's not like
you
know, the NFL. I'm not even trying to defend the NFL, but it's not like.
But let's just use common sense.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So don't get out there in the chat room. Don't ride that wave. Because remember, I told you they can throw some stuff on the timeline and you start following shit that you normally wouldn't follow. Now your blood pressure's up because there ain't no black people performing at the Super Bowl. It's a waste of energy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Maroon 5 is dope too.
Yeah, Maroon 5 got some. They got a few hits.
They got some heat.
Oh, dude. They got a little heat. Malcolm and Eli be putting me on to that shit. Yeah, absolutely. What else we got? Y'all all right in the chat?
Facts. How y'all doing, man?
Don't forget we got that super chat in there. I know a lot of y'all forgot. That's why y'all didn't hit the catch buttons. But yeah.
So Jemele Hill. It was just announced that Jemele Hill is going to narrate LeBron James Showtime documentary "Shut Up and Dribble." She's doing alright for herself since she left ESPN.
Absolutely, and I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
Because once you use these platforms to build your name, Bowser, don't start. You. Now it's up to you to take your brand when they start acting funny.
Yeah.
You don't have to tolerate that no more. You use these platforms to build your brand. Now you can peel off and your brand can stand on its own because you have created a one-on-one relationship with the audience.
Yeah.
So it's not what we do, it's how you do it. So a lot of times you need to come through the corporate rankings to see how this whole thing works. A lot of times we're talking about running businesses and none of us has ever run a business or know what this is about, you know?
There's a term coined by Steve Canal, corporatepreneur.
Corporatepreneur, absolutely.
Because he talks about exactly what you just described.
Yes.
Like sometimes you need to understand how business works to be able to run your own business. And sometimes you need to do it at the same time.
Sometimes we get real black and we say, well, we just need to be running business, and that sounds great. But if none of us know how, none of us have went into the system to learn the ins and outs and do's and don'ts on how to run business, we can't service our community. We're bound to fail. Yeah. So she's been in the corporate aspect. She's a brand name now. And when they started getting funny, peel off and look, one door closes, another door opens.
And they gave her a sweet settlement check too.
They hit her with some bread.
I think like $6 million.
Okay. So she ain't broke.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And now LeBron is saying, come see me.
Yeah.
I want you to narrate this. And I think that's going to be a great thing. Shut Up and Dribble is what everyone should, in terms of athletes and artists. Not just Shut Up and Dribble, shut up and rap.
Yeah.
It applies to so much, So I'm looking forward to what that documentary will present.
It was also announced that Space Jam 2.
Space Jam 2, yeah. It's time for that.
Yeah. See, at first I didn't want it to happen.
Did I take you to see that?
You did.
What are you
did.
5 or 6?
Probably younger than that.
Got your little Twizzlers and
but younger than that.
Happy Pack.
We went to the movie theater on 161st.
Wow.
Yeah.
That long ago?
That's still there too.
That movie theater still there?
Still there.
I wouldn't go there.
I wouldn't go there either.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Across from the Courthouse, yeah.
Don't do it.
What else? It was something else.
With the Space Jam?
Yeah, it was something with the Space Jam. Oh, right, they got Ryan Coogler to produce it, executive producer.
Ryan Coogler, who's that?
Black Panther.
Right, the guy from Black. Let's clap that
Yeah.
up. Yep. So that's gonna be dope for a new generation.
Yeah, because I watched the old Space Jam.
It's kind of funny now watching it now, right?
And Michael couldn't act for his life.
Like his acting was very bad. Yes.
For his life, but hopefully, and I'm happy for LeBron. Like he's really just doing whatever he wants to do now.
You got to do it. It's his window. The window's open now. You're out in LA.
Yeah.
Now you can close a lot more deals, and you can leave your mark, and that's what it's really all about. So I'm proud of him. He's not perfect. None of us are, and
Yeah, I don't know when it's dropping, but it's supposed to be dropping.
It's supposed to be dropping. Yeah.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
This next story broke my heart.
Yeah, my whole childhood, B. It's a lot.
My whole childhood, man. When I heard Ernie and Bert was doing the thing. This really broke my heart, man. Those are my two favorite Sesame Street characters.
I thought Grover was.
No, Ernie and Bert, because which one is this? With that's Bert, right? Ernie
Bert, yeah.
was the funny dude.
Yeah.
Ernie would always be pranking Bert. He had that laugh, and I thought that was funny. I did not know they were gay.
Yeah, one of the original writers.
And I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead, say your piece.
One of the original writers came back after a while and said that he always intended to. He wrote these characters to always be like a gay couple. I think that's trash.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. He's using the Mandela effect. He figured they was two, because I just looked at them as two homies who shared an apartment.
I think they were brothers, like
something to that effect. But it's easy in retrospect to say that now. Mm-hmm. Just like I always thought Big Bird was a girl. They said Big Bird is a boy. Really? I did not know that. Big Bird. Hey, Sesame Street.
Oh, really?
I thought Big Bird was
I think I knew that.
Was a big ass girl. To me. Sounded like a big ass girl. And Snuffleupagus was a dope fiend. Snuffleupagus.
Oh wait, is that a fact or is that?
No, that's me just throwing some shit in there.
Yeah.
Don't start no rumors. Snuffleupagus had them big ass eyelashes and shit. He was always just like moving around like this. Shut up, Bowser. So I think he's in retrospect to try to gain favor with the LGBT community. I don't think when he wrote those characters,
there's no way.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah, it's no way.
But it's popular now to say it, to traumatize, to try to steal my fucking childhood and shit. Trying to say Black Dot, you always supported the LGBT. Did you like Ernie and Bert? Well, yes, I did. Well, you supported that. No, you won't get me. I ain't buying it.
Yeah.
You won't fuck up my childhood. Ernie and Bert was two brothers who was probably smoking weed.
And they had separate beds.
They couldn't afford the rent by themselves. So they teamed up. They paid their rent. And,
Exactly.
That's how that's going to go down. I ain't having nothing.
Yeah, I'm not riding either.
I ain't riding with that. No.
You are tuned into the
Stop
sound.
hitting that goddamn button. They know who they tuned into. But that could be you. Go ahead, hit it. You hit it.
No, forget it now. I don't even want to touch it no more.
So what do we have now going on?
Oh, so two things about Kanye. So Kanye, he wrote on Twitter, right, that he feels Twitter, like, it should be it should be something where you can hide your follow account, because he was talking about like the psychological thing. We're doing stuff for followers. We're trying to get followers and things like that.
This generation, I can see.
Yeah, and the CEO of Twitter actually texted him back and said, we should be able to participate. No, this is what Kanye said. We should be able to participate in social media without having to show how many followers or likes we have. Just like you can turn up your comments and things, we should be able to turn up the display of our followers.
Okay.
And the CEO of Twitter texted him back and said, "We've been thinking deeply about the follower and the count and the like counts and what it incentivizes." Mm-hmm. Right? It said we made sense. What made sense 12 years ago doesn't make sense today. At least for us. Us making that number hold a big incentivizes people to want to increase it and feel bad if they can't. Mm-hmm. So they're thinking about
modifying it. So once again, Kanye is forward thinking. In that sense, because listen, Chuck D from Public Enemy said it best: attention is the new currency. Right? You get charged if you got 800,000 followers. They don't give a shit about you, but you feel charged by that. And if you post something, because a couple of times even I posted something, I was like, God damn, ain't nobody. Did anybody see this? This was clever shit, you know. So even at my age, you can get caught into that a little bit. So imagine young people whose whole reality is based on a virtual avatar that they have created of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they need to have that avatar charged so that they can feel good about themselves and things of that nature. So I can see how they need to maybe rethink that process, because you will be helping the next generation. Because if not, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you think about the stupid things people do, 4 followers. 4 views.
4 views. Absolutely.
You know
just stupid stuff. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, I just wasted a minute of my life watching that stupid shit.
But you watched it.
I did. They got me.
They got you, yeah.
They got me. Some of the shit start off interesting. The title of it be interesting, and it don't be what's in the title. Because media takeout was the worst. Oh. They were like, yo, we have the upskirt of Beyonce. And I look at the title, I look around, I go, I got a decision to make. Fuck it, go on in. And then I go in and it don't be nothing. It be some other shit. It be a little, you gotta get, see, what the fuck? So media takeout started that shit, that trolling shit. You know what I mean? And get me every time and shit. So I understand how they could want to restructure that. But remember, we live in 2 realities now. We live in this world, and then our younger generation spends so much time in that virtual world, and that virtual world is changing. When you start popping on them 3D glasses and you are now at the game, because that's where they're going with it next. You are now at the game, you know what I mean? And you can sit and enjoy a game that feels real as possible. So this is where they're going with it, and they're moving our children. And I want to say this because we are exoteric beings. But now they're making our whole experience exoteric. I mean, we're esoteric. Yeah. And they're making our whole experience exoteric bullshit. You know what I mean? Especially for young people.
Yo, there was a first of all, shout out to Boog Taboo for the donation.
Appreciate that.
But there was an update on the iPhones, iOS 12, where it's called Screen Time, and you can track how much
parents can track.
You can limit how much time you spend on Twitter and things like that. I think
that's great. That's a great feature.
But at the same time, they're doing everything to keep you on the phone too. So it's weird.
True. It's a weird dynamic. Yeah. It's like.
But I think it's dope though, because as a parent, if you have your kids iCloud, like if y'all all on the same thing, you can control how much time they spend on the phone.
And I think that's great because we have to have some parental discretion in these day and times. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what else do we have about?
So Kanye he did a video today, basically talking about Nick Cannon,
the actor
Tyson Beckford, and Drake, basically talking about his wife. Or he said he was talking about Nick Cannon actually talking about his wife because he did an interview with Vlad, and I watched the interview and he never said anything disrespectful in my eyes about
his wife, but he did mention.
But he did mention it because this is what Kanye has to understand. He has a very, very high profile wife.
Right.
Who's had a lot of high profile relationships in her life.
And we talked about that when we said, from a standpoint of urban excellence, we can't be speaking about another man's wife, but there are exceptions to that rule when your wife is more popular than you are.
Right.
And she stands on her own, and some of her past discretions cannot be avoided in conversation in pop culture. So he has to understand. I felt him, but he didn't need to stop there. Nigga, the list, you ain't mentioned the nigga who started it all.
Who made a whole song?
Who made a whole fucking song?
I hit it first. That was a song.
Ray J.
Yeah.
you ain't said nothing about a whole bunch of dudes who probably, you know what I
No,
mean?
but he was saying that he was talking about it, like, don't speak on my wife. And then he got at Drake for not silencing the rumors that Drake didn't really start. People are piecing that together. I don't think Drake started it, though.
Kiki.
I didn't think of Kim.
Do
I
you
didn't
love
think of Kim
me?
Kardashian when I heard Kiki.
Are you riding Kim Car?
No.
Kim Car.
No.
Kim Car. Kiki. Sounds the same.
No.
If you say it fast.
No.
You say that shit fast. But I heard they used to call her Kiki. That's what Odyssey said back in the days. So, I don't know. But my point is, Drake could have ended that. But Drake is psychologically fucking Kanye up.
Yeah.
This is a war. This is now a silent war going on. Because even in that Travis Scott song, when he talk about turn a left, make a right, he talking about her house. Yeah. According to Odyssey. We're going to get Odyssey up here to do some T-Force one day. Right? So, this is a kind of war in which I'm tormenting you for that shit you did. You know what I mean? You can't just, I shouldn't have, had Pusha T rhyme on my beat. But that's over now. Now I need you dudes to. This is a war, and you are.
I think him even doing this kind of makes the Kim Drake situation look even more hot.
Yeah, like you know something. Yeah, you know something, and you don't want that bubble to burst. Mm-hmm. You don't want Kanye, Drake to drop that bomb, because when he dropped that bomb, it's on and popping.
Oh, shout out to Let's Get Free. What's going on with Katt Williams? First of all, Katt Williams, he was on a radio show, right? I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
And he was talking greasy about every comedian, Kevin Hart.
Well, if they ask you questions, you have to answer the questions.
This is true, but
it's how you answer.
I feel like every single black comedian hates on each other.
They do. They are
and
the
it's
worst.
Disgusting.
They worse than rap.
No, they are.
They worse than rap.
They are.
Mike Epps and Kevin Hart, and and then Chappelle with the Keel and Peele and brothers. That's like Key and Peele. Key and Peele. And Katt Williams against this one.
Yeah, they hate on, but white comedians.
No, you never hear that. You never
hear. Even if they don't probably think a guy is funny, they still big him up. Like, he makes a lot of people.
Because it's our art form. It's our family. We need to support. It's enough jokes. If you funny, you funny. I never get tired of somebody who's funny. If you funny, it ain't like it's an over saturated market where it's not enough. It's enough to spread that love. You go on the East Coast. I start on the West Coast. Sometimes we can tour together. So anyway.
But yeah, he was the radio host said something about his head, and then he wound up snapping on her.
He bodied her.
Yeah, he went crazy on her. Her husband wound up pulling the gun on him.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Facts. But see, you got to remember, Katt Williams is naturally funny.
Yeah, you don't snap on somebody who gets paid to make people laugh.
To make people laugh, and he's spontaneously funny. He can look around the room and just start. And then she says something like, my favorite, they like the way I cook my broccoli. They said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me your favorite dish is broccoli, so you basically can boil water and put the goddamn broccoli into the water? Is that what you're saying to me, miss? And no, this is not a perm. That shit you're wearing is a goddamn wig. Then he started going and he said, well, you know what? My favorite dish is corn. I open up the corn, I throw the shit in the pot. And then I put some water in it and it boils, and that's my favorite. He started going the fuck off. And, her feelings were hurt. She went home, probably cried to her husband. And as a husband, he got to do something. Katt Williams ain't nothing but this fucking high.
But does he have like a new tour coming out or something?
He probably does. I think he was up for an Emmy. Did he win or did he lose?
I didn't know.
Yeah, he was nominated for an Emmy this week. He
probably lost then.
Because
I didn't hear he won.
Hold on.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Did he just hate on another black man?
No, I
don't know the results of.
I'm just saying, I didn't hear that he won, so I'm
Tiffany Haddish won. He might have won. He was on Atlanta show.
Well, he was going at her too, so.
Yeah, he went at her, but they made up. At the awards, at the Emmys, they kind of squashed their beef. But what he was saying...
do you think it's any truth or any merit to...
truth to what he was saying. He was saying, I don't know one Tiffany Haddish joke that I can remember. Oh, he did win. Clap that.
Oh, he did win.
Shit.
Oh, my fault, y'all.
Nobody look at Malcolm for 30 seconds.
My bad, J-Body.
You greasy hater.
My fault, y'all.
Yeah, he
Shame.
did win. So, now I have an Emmy, and it's a pimp called Slickback. That's what I said, a Slickback. No, nigga, you say the whole thing. It's like I'm trying to call Quest. You say the whole name. Now I have an Emmy to my name. Everybody can kiss my ass. That's what he's going to say.
That's dope. So, but what was you saying? Yeah, so the thing about Tiffany Haddish.
He said she hasn't went on the road and held her own yet.
Yeah.
Her time will come because now she's more out there. But he said, I can't remember one Tiffany Haddish joke. Like every comedian has a joke or a routine.
Yeah, that's true.
I go all the way back to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy that you always remember. And shit, I open up the show doing an Eddie Murphy,
exactly. True.
piece. So,
Touché.
so maybe she will, the more exposure she gets, because I'm going to see, what's this new movie he's in? Going to school, back to school?
Night School?
Night School.
I'm not gonna lie. It looks like every one of his movies.
I know, but it looks funny.
I'm gonna see it, but I'm not gonna pay to see it.
Would they still make bootleg movies? Fucking me, not gonna pay to see it.
You could.
Niggas are still on the street selling the movies where niggas is walking.
No, you
by
can
and shit?
stream movies.
Huh?
You can stream movies.
Oh, online.
Yeah.
Okay, you better not say that too loud because the FCC could be.
Whatever.
No, but I'm gonna go get some popcorn, and me and wifey going to see that. She likes Tiffany Haddish. I like Kevin Hart sometimes. He plays the same roles. But we saw the extended preview when we went to the movies, and it looks funny. It looks like, every now and then you gotta throw a movie in there. You ain't trying to decode the movie and find super science and shit. I might even spark up a little la-la for that one. You know what I'm saying? Popcorn. Me and wifey be like, shut up. Me and wifey, we terrible. We tried to roll weed one time. It's been so goddamn long, the weed fell out the side. We was smoking tobacco. And we was still high, because we don't smoke. We was like, you feel that? Yeah, I feel that. Straight tobacco. We are the worst. Well, one time we snuck a bottle in. Me and wifey was like, look around.
What y'all want to see?
One of them funny movies, Tag.
Yes.
Tag. With the whole movie, 30 years, they've been playing the game of Tag.
That's a true story.
And it was funny.
Yeah.
Me and wifey was in there like, looking around. Yeah. Me and wifey get down like that. Yeah, we'll get down. Yeah. We'll go see Kevin Hart shit.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is Zimmerman.
This when I saw this in the movie, in the documentary, it truly disturbed me that he had a Confederate flag shirt on. And he's signing bags of Skittles. You already know he auctioned off the gun. This motherfucker think he a folk hero or some shit. Yeah. And he is. To white America. To the NRA. You have to understand, every time these white people take these so-called stands against what, goes on, there's a secret group of people who promote that bullshit. You know what I mean? And, again, I'm not promoting violence. But, goddamn, bags of Skittles now?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he gonna be at this nigga gravesite, taking photos and shit, signing books and shit. Where does this shit end? And I don't understand. All of you gangsters are shooting each other down over bullshit. And this man has just spit on the grave of Trayvon, spit on every young, man who died, for police violence, and I just think it's terrible, man. I really do. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna keep my word. If I ever see George Zimmerman personally, I'm gonna call the cops. So I don't want no problem. Now, I'm serious. Something's. Come on, man. Please, somebody, one of you real true triple OG thugs, just. Something, I don't know.
Something unlucky to befall him.
Yeah, he got ran off the road because you were, I don't know. And that's not hashtag urban excellence, because we need to move beyond that. I understand that, but my heart aches for that mother and father and all of them people who put their time and energy.
And he's running victory laps.
And he's running goddamn victory laps. You know what I mean? it's just crazy. Let me know if I'm out of pocket in the chat. I'll apologize. But that shit is crazy. And I'm not advocating violence, but that shit is just crazy. Bags of Skittles?
Yeah.
I did not know that until I watched the documentary. I knew he was getting arrested from time to time, and other people say, yo, this nigga's crazy. You know what I mean? And this and that. And I just did not know that. I did not. And I'm pissed.
Sick, man.
That's some sick shit. That's some really sick shit. Facts.
And then you wonder, like, yo, what does, like, if you believe in certain things, like karma.
White people do not believe in karma.
So it doesn't, so you don't think of, like.
If white people believed in karma, they would all be dead by now. I mean, what more atrocities can they commit? You niggas believe in that karma shit. That's why you niggas won't go out and take advantage of opportunities, you know, within the system that they do. They create the law and they break the law. The law is not for them. All that shit is for you to keep you niggas in check while we go outside of the parameters of the laws we created so that we can continue to get all of the wealth that we want. And you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? We feel bad if we chop down a tree because we understand. They do not. I saw that lady with the giraffe head cut off and she was like, yeah. What would possess you to chop off a goddamn giraffe's head?
For what? Like,
for no reason.
Yeah.
Right? And just be proud of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? So karma does not exist. But remember, the only things that exist are the things that you think are real in your head. All is mental. So if you create the vibration of karma, you suffer that shit. For those who don't, they don't suffer from none of that shit. And that's the true, when we say all is mental, that's what that shit really means. So yeah, Jesus is real to those who believe that. For those who don't, they have no consequences. It means nothing. So we have created karma. We have created guilt. We have created all of this stuff about waiting until, you know, afterlife to get ours. They have not. They preach that shit.
Yeah.
But they don't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
So they here take full advantage of all this shit. And we sitting around waiting for Jesus to return. And all of that shit. With 40 versions and shit and all that crazy shit.
Okay, so this is also something nobody really is talking about. A United Nations Human Rights Panel reported that 1 million, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's a type of Muslim are forced into internment camps, concentration camps.
Where?
In China.
In China?
Yes.
Are these Chinese Muslims though?
Yes.
Because so they're Chinese Muslims.
Yes.
And they believe a certain way of life, and now they have been forced into concentration camps.
Over 1 million, yes.
Over 1 million of them.
Yes.
Okay. So let me check my give a fuck meter. Chinese people. They come into our neighborhood.
Well, see, the thing is, they're
Chinese food. Hurry up and buy.
They discriminate against the religion.
I got you. I'm only fucking around. So the religion itself is under attack.
Yes.
And because these Chinese people subscribe to that way of life,
yes,
they're being held in concentration camps, and nobody. This is a crime against humanity.
Yes.
Did you say 1 million?
1 million, yes.
Wow. So
they were saying some people were saying like people were just going missing, like in certain towns, just like
wow. How many people in China?
Like 1 billion people.
So you think 1 million people could be missing and nobody really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 1 million black people couldn't go missing without us noticing.
Yeah.
And I'm not making fun of the population in China. I'm just saying it's so many of the motherfuckers. I could see how they could keep something like that a secret.
But yeah.
1 million is like 30 people.
Yeah.
So 30 motherfuckers is missing and ain't nobody making a big deal about it. But it is a crime against humanity from a religious standpoint. And the UN is behind this, or they know about this?
They know about it. And
so how do they deal with that? Do we go in, or does that create World War III?
Say that would cause problems with us on different fronts.
The embargoes
and trades, tariffs like that. You know what I'm saying?
Tariffs. But could it be the segue into World War III? I don't
think it's enough. And first, I don't think it's enough people. And because they're Muslim,
They don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, like especially
So
in America, you wouldn't get backing for trying to go over there and save
So
them.
America don't care about Muslims,
Nope.
and neither does China.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I think that also shows what they think about black people as well, because it's mainly black people that are Muslim.
Not necessarily.
Not
The Arabs. Remember
Brown people.
The right.
Brown people.
The black people sector of Islam. That's Elijah Muhammad,
Yeah.
and they weren't even respected for years. You know what I mean, and so forth. And then Malcolm, he went over and did the hot.
Well, in Africa, if Christianity didn't come, they'd probably all be Muslim.
Absolutely. So I'm not knocking that, but I'm just simply saying in general.
Yeah.
We weren't introduced into the science of the Muslim world, into Elijah Muhammad and
and nobody's talking about that. It's crazy.
That was the first I heard of it. That's
nobody's
the first I
talking
heard
about
of it. Wow.
So
we'll keep our eye on that to see how this transpires and what it actually boils down to. What's going on in the chat?
Yo, we got in the chat, B.
Gail Jackson, what's good? Good to see you out there. Appreciate you. So I guess our sound held up today.
Oh yeah, man. Guess we were good.
We were good. Yeah. So what do we do? Do we let this go? Do we thank the people?
Do we have any questions in the chat?
Any questions in the chat? This is the opportunity. Shout out to all of those who are listening on the podcast. Where can we be heard?
We can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Radio Public, what else? Audio Boom. What else? Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, and yeah. And then you can follow us on UrbanX on Twitter and Instagram at UrbanX_NYC. You can email us if you want to write for the site at urbanx.nyc, you can email us at urbanx.nyc@gmail.com. All of the stuff will be in the description below, once the show wraps. And yeah, somebody asked, I think it's low-key related that China is trying to run ish in Africa.
It's a lot going on in Africa too. Like they've donated so much money to Africa, supposed to be interest-free loans, build airports, and now they're coming to collect. Because China, of course, Africa is so filled with so many resources, it's ridiculous. You can't even have this goddamn cell phone, without all the resources. And they are the vanguards at the moment who see the resources, and they have 20 and 30-year plans so that they could actually colonize Africa. So we have to be careful with that. Side note, I saw your man, the blue black dude, the purple dude. I thought I was black. This nigga is real black.
Akon.
This nigga say on the Drink Champs that we need to get into Africa, and everything that you're doing here, you can now do there. So we need, as a collective, to begin to investigate new markets and new opportunities so we can grow. If you can rap, if you can dance, if you could sing, if you into real estate, the opportunities are there. And he said that shit with a straight face. And I had to rethink, not my concept of what's going on in Africa because it's so huge. Right. You know what I mean? But had to really take notice to what he was saying. And the time is now. So we have to begin to look at that as well, as an opportunity to grow.
All right.
And with that being said,
thank you for joining us this week.
We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. We appreciate the donations.
That's a fact. Thank you.
We hope we got this sound thing together because we like going live. You know what I'm saying? We really do.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody in the chat, Def Rocker, everybody who continuously show us love. And eat this.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. classroom. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then